Thank you, Chairman. I want to start out by saying the SPLC used to be a good thing. It started out doing the right thing. So many of the good examples that have been brought up of what it's about and ending racism and fighting for us to all be on an equal front are in the past. But I want to speak about the present, where we are now. I want to speak about how money was used to fund and create racism, and it was for money. I want to talk about how real Americans don't know the real deal and which actually is going on. It's a great name, you know. People look at the name, Southern Poverty Law Center. What could be better? It stands for doing the right thing. But instead of healing, it opened wounds. Instead of dampening racism, it created more racism, more hate. And that's why we're here today. What happened? What went wrong? All the other stuff we can talk about, but let's talk about this issue today. And the reason that not everybody, but that some folks want to keep straying away from it into other organizations or into the economy or into Donald Trump or the price of gas. It's not what the hearing's about. All important things. I want to talk about those things, but not at the hearing. It's become clear how this organization that was existing to dismantle white supremacy was actually trying to create it in order to get more money. This is all about money. It's all about politics. It's all about changing the political scene and bringing money in to do that. And it was all in the shadows. And if you look in the shadows, you see that the money it was receiving from donors wasn't going towards dismantling hate. Honest to God, if some of the donors really knew where the money was going, they would be upset. In the shadows, they allegedly paid more than $4.1 million to individuals associated, that's a lot of money, by the way, with hate groups like the Ku Klux Klan, the National Alliance, and the Aryan Nations. Why would you give them money? You're trying to fight them. You're trying to stop that. You're trying to make it better. And I could go on and on where the money was spent, all the way that allegedly it was spent for neo-Nazi figures. It was spent to get money for wooden crosses and uniforms of the Ku Klux Klan and the very gasoline to burn the crosses. My God, the only thing more immoral than racism itself is to pretend you're trying to end it and you're actually funding it for personal gain and political gain. That's god-awful. That's hateful. So, with that being said, let me ask, Mr. Fair, let me ask you some questions. Let me be plain about it. Your organization started good, wanted to dismantle hate, yet you actually increased it. You promised to confront extremists. Instead, your indictment alleges you recruited extremists, you bankrolled extremists, you funded extremists. Your organization has strayed from its goal of bringing a country together and healing, and now it's just trying to drive us apart. So tell me, why? If I'm not right, I mean, why is there in the indictment? Why are all those charges there? I know you're going to say they're not true, but you told the donors that their donations would go towards dismantling these groups. Did you also tell your donors that their money would go directly into the pockets of members whose groups you pledged to destroy? I'm a donor. I give you money to stop all this hate, and you're taking the money and you're putting it in the hater's pocket. Do you tell them that? Your mic's not on.
Sorry, Congressman Van Drew. As I said earlier, all the allegations in the indictment will be addressed in the Middle District of Alabama. We have said publicly, we have said publicly that the Department of Justice knew that we did not give money to any organizations. In the statement you suggested we did. We did not. The Department of Justice knew that we were working with law enforcement, including the FBI. So we've, in public documents and filings, have addressed some of the things you said. We will address others in the criminal case pending in the Middle District of Alabama.
I thank you for your answer. I'm telling you, it's going to be shocking because I think it's going to be surprising to good Americans where that money went and how it increased hate. And I'm asking you this question, but again, you're not going to answer it. You don't tell donors, I bet, and you can answer just yes or no, that the money they gave would buy wood and fuel for a cross burning. Do you tell them that? Did you tell them what it was used for?
Congressman Van Drew.
I know, it's going to be it is going to be addressed. And you guys are going to be in trouble. And you're going to have a real problem on your hands.
We believe our donors support all of our work.
I yield back to the chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I have a